Good morning, gang. 11:03. 3 more minutes clowning around with the connection to WDJY in Atlanta. Day number 2 of not being able to connect. So sorry for the delay, but it's clearly something that not working properly. We thought that it was because Wednesday, yesterday, was actually a new day for our schedule, even though last week there was no problem. Now this is day 2 that we're not connected, and I don't have time to troubleshoot because there's the rest of the stations that are waiting for us. That's you included. So, do you like my ears? For those of you that do have video, the Mastiff Media logo is where we're going to have it for right now. Let's there you go. And one of the things I just purchased, we don't have an actual website yet, but our station in London, the UG, is in underground, the UG .media is our extension. It's not .com, it's not .fm, not anything else. It's .media. Well, our name is Mastiff Media. So Mastiff.media is the new parent company web address, which leads to nothing right now, but hang tight. We'll be putting something up in the next couple of weeks, even if it's just like a placeholder type of thing. By that I mean something a little functional. Oh, we're hearing back from it. She's telling us it's the same login. But clearly not working. If you think you have an idea what could be going wrong, give us a call, 1-888-88-YERGS. I think our phone lines are open yet. Phone lines ready. Phone lines are ready. We're ready. Happening today, we've got vice presidents ready to slug it out. Vance and Walls have agreed on time, date, location, whatever else. VPs only usually get one. I don't think they really ever do more than just one. I've never seen that. So that'll be happening. We'll have more on that in a minute. I had some other things I wanted to talk about, but in other, struggling. Oh, it was in email. We were in email, and I got to let the kid back in. Retail sales are suddenly surging. I told you that was going to happen. Maybe Biden shouldn't have dropped out, but I don't know. I think we'll be fine with Kamala. Much better than the other option. You know that. I got to take a break so I can let my dog back in. 99.1 WDJY. We're trying. And everybody else on the Mastiff Media Network. We'll be back after this.
Smell nasty. Do you want to freshen it up a little bit? Go to aromabypeter.com. Check out all of Peter's candles. It's what we burn here in Studio Yergs. I'm burning right now leather scented candle. That's right, leather scented. So go to aromabypeter.com/Yergs and check out his candles today.
I'm Jane Stahl, retired English teacher, and with my BFF, Susan Bebeck, we manage Studio B Fine Art Gallery in Boyertown, Pennsylvania. We showcase the art of hundreds of local artists, publish books of the poetry, prose, and art of local writers, offer classes, art parties, workshops, discussion groups, cater dinners. We've even hosted a wedding. And we're here to be the go-to place for friendship, learning, and fun in our community. Virtual tours of our exhibits are available right here on Yergs Radio. Let us introduce you to some amazing art and artists.
Check out Jane Stahl and everyone at Studio B in Boyertown, Pennsylvania. Please visit our YouTube channel, Talk TV 24. How's your website doing? I'll tell you how mine's doing. It's awesome. Yergs.com is gotta be the best website for anybody in podcasting or any sort of broadcast solo journalist like me. How did I get that? Limit Break Digital. Limit Break Digital did my website with Yergs.com. They did YergerGroup.com. They take care of my marketing, my branding, and help me get the message out to you. Go to limitbreakdigital.com/Yergs for 10% off your next project. That's a $3,000 site, Yergs.com. And you can get 10% off that by just going to limitbreakdigital.com/Yergs today. Talk to Jay. That's my guy. We all got a guy, and Jay's mine. limitbreakdigital.com. Hey gang, it's Yergs. Right now, our country is about to embark on yet another controversial presidential election. I have an actual question, legitimate question, as a political scientist and historian by education. If you are a Trump supporter, I want to hear from you. I want to know what your appeal to Donald Trump is at this time. Please email me Newz, Newz, at yergz.com. Newz, Newz, at yergz.com. Thanks. Participants must be willing to provide their contact information, answer a series of questions, and then have their first name broadcast over the radio and social media relevant to Up the Middle.
From iHeart Podcasts.
What the hell is going on in here?
Everyone has their limits.
I'd never confronted a situation like this.
The numbers were being inflated and lied about and conflated.
I just thought it was just a really terrible, immoral thing for him to do.
A line they won't cross.
I was stunned, and I just said to him, no.
We're killing people. What exactly are we doing here?
I remember him saying, in this 007 evil villain kind of way, this is the beginning of a process.
You may never have to face that decision. When you find yourself at that line,
Thoughts racing, hearts racing, emotions are all over the place.
They could be harassed, they could be imprisoned, they could be killed.
Somebody needs to just, for once, give everybody the whole truth.
I'm like, this is evil.
and the only person who can sound the alarm is you.
She folded it up, put it in her pantyhose, and walked out of the building.
Yeah, I really am the world's dumbest criminal.
These are the whistleblowers.
I wasn't just going to sit silently by.
I was told you take your questioning black self and get it on up out of my facility because you're trouble.
The message is, if you are disloyal, if you speak out, you will pay.
This is what it's like when the president decides he wants to destroy you.
Bad things are going to happen to him. You're anti-American. You are a disgrace to our country. He should be prosecuted.
When power corrupts, conscience is the last line of defense.
Is it ever too late to do the right thing?
We talk about institutions, but they're really about individual people.
The responsibility drops in everybody's lap.
I'm Miles Taylor. The Whistleblowers premieres Thursday, July 13th on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Check out Miles Taylor and the Whistleblowers. I've referenced that plenty of times throughout Up the Middle, Both Sides Now, and Yergz Tonight. He does an excellent job telling the stories of various people who blew the whistle on the Trump administration and their reasons why, personal and professional, as well as the consequences that these people paid to get the truth to the public. Check out the Whistleblowers on Apple, iHeart, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. The July date that he mentioned is from 2023, and season 1 is complete. It's excellent, and it's still very relevant, probably now more than ever. So I certainly recommend that you give it a look. See you again.
All right, well, still can't get on to, we're not even on any of the radio stations now. That's bad. Still can't get on to WDJY. And anyway, we'll give it a shot and try and get back to Atlanta tomorrow. That's all I can say. Just saw maybe I can share screen. I'll put them in the show notes for those who are on the radio. I'm getting some new equipment. As much as I love the Shure MV7 mics, I'm going to be getting the Electro Voice RE20, basically what you see in every radio studio And I'm getting the flags that go over top of the shock mount or the bracket or whatever. And so let me see if I can share with you. There it is. Man, it's not going to be the greatest view because, but that's not good either, is it? There's the logo at the top. And so if you can envision that as the wider one as the front that you see in that small picture below. Or maybe I can do it this way. It doesn't let me zoom in on email. But that's it. That's what it's going to look like. Mastiff Media, run with the big dogs. And the small Jaeger group triangle and Mastiff.media. That's another cool purchase of the past couple of days. The domain. Our friends in London, I was just talking about that actually. Our friends in London, and there's the one that's going to go on all the MV7 mics that I still have. Again, I wish I could get that a little bigger. But anyway. Now that you've seen all my emails. The MV7s are going to be, I'm doing a lot of work in the Tampa Bay area and networking, and I'm anticipating a decent number of people reaching out to tech support. Just telling her I should maybe call. One 88 YERGZ. Yeah. So she's got somebody working on it. We'll figure it out. But or if they say we got to use another system, there's that too. But reach out to your friends, let them know. There still is. Actually, we're not on that one either. I got to reach out to America One Radio. We're supposed to be there, and we're actually not. So I don't know what's up with that. But Atlanta, I haven't forgotten about you. I still love you. You can still go to yergs.com, find out all of our social media that we use. You can still hear us on yergsradio.com, the player, and whatever other internet radio directories our station is listed on. But if you want to see what we're doing, go to yergs.com, YERGZ.com. And in the ticker of different news stories that floats across the home page, there is the list of our social media that carries the show. Speaking of which, I need you all to go to that, please. Go to yergs.com. Check out that list. There are some of our Facebook pages that need your help. What I mean by that is this. Back in June, Meta, talk about stupid rebranding. Meta decided that on Facebook, to be able to stream to a page, you had to be at least, I think it's 60 days old, which all of mine are, and 100 minimum number of followers, subs, whatever. Right now, it used to be across the board, with the exception of LinkedIn, everybody was a subscriber to your channel, to your page, to whatever. LinkedIn, they've always been connections. That was the verbiage of your friends list on LinkedIn. Now there's monetization going on. And so you either follow, which is the free version for that channel or page, and a subscription, a subscriber, means you're paying for the extra content. So there's that. But enough followers to stream, you need 100. Most of our pages are old enough and as such have well over that. But my personal page, Ross Yerger, Rainbow Radio, and Talk TV 24, the page that is for our one YouTube channel, all are not at the 100 level. So we need your help. If you would please hit us up there. And I'm going to change the background. Where's the other one? Sorry, gang. I'm wanting to where is there we go. Get back to the actual show, up the middle. I don't know what the hell, why that's so much bigger there. Let's get that fixed, get the whole thing on. There we go. All right. Sorry for those of you on the audio only or radio, but just dealing with some of the visuals. So yeah, we need your help so that when something like this does happen, we have plenty of options to use. And there are already subscribers, followers, whatever, on those pages that have been used to following us now daily, 11 a.m. Eastern, shameless plug, on those pages that they can't anymore because we didn't have the minimum 100. So give us a shout, please. Get on those pages. Go to yergs.com. Find it there. And yeah, and find it there and subscribe. Even if I'll keep you updated once we get a cushion above the 100, then I'll let you know. And if you're on multiple pages and you don't really need that, I understand, 100% understand. I don't want to see your notifications list flooded with redundant notifications that you already know about because you watched us. So as soon as we get to that number, I'll let you know, and I'll make it a little bit more. I'm going to tell them they're going to be the toast today. Every day I do a toast of the morning sauce. Coffee. To a special person, guest, or listener for everything you've done for Yergs Media Now, Mastiff Media. You are today's host. If you want to listen, you may still do so at yergsradio.com. Thanks for all that you do. Yergs. So we'll give that a few minutes, but Nicole Smith with Hype Media Global. I gotta take a note here so I don't screw any of that up. FM, not RM. 99.1. Okay. So I'll have that note when we're ready. Maybe let her get a little time to get Nicole on. As you guys know, every day, part of what we do, one of the things we do, to spread that positivity, to let people know that they're appreciated, to let you know that you're not the only one out there that probably deserves a thank you, a pat on the back, maybe in some loving way, a kick in the ass, whatever. And that is in honor of our first recipient, the guy that actually invented this little bit, Pierre Robert. It is a toast of the morning sauce. That, of course, is coffee. We'll get to that in a minute. Once I see that Nicole has joined us, if I do get a message of any sorts, because obviously I would want her to hear it. Hello. It's always a special thing when somebody gives you a shout out on the radio. So then we're going to go through some more of the headlines. And I closed my email where some of those notes were. Yeah, I go through and I see some of these still sick. Some of these older emails, I'm like, what is that? I don't even know who that is. So Justin Marchbanks from Impact PBS. That's from getting the flags from. Shout out to you too. I will be messaging you in exactly 32 minutes. Thanks. Let's try in 3 minutes. We spoke to someone. Okay. Cool. So yeah, Vance and Waltz agree. October 1st, CBS. Whether or not Minnesota Governor Tim Waltz and Ohio Senator J.D. Vance would debate before November 5th has been in question. Not anymore. They've agreed to debate each other, setting up the matchup for potential vice presidents as early voting in some states gets underway for the general election, October 1st. CBS News on Wednesday posted on its Twitter feed that the network had invited both Vance and Waltz to debate in New York City, presenting 4 possible dates: September 17th, September 24th, October 1st, and October 8th. Waltz reposted that message from his own campaign account. See you on October 1st, JD. It read. The Harris-Waltz campaign followed up with a message of its own, saying Waltz looks forward to debating J.D. Vance if he shows up. Vance posted on Twitter he would accept the October 1st invitation. He also challenged Waltz to meet on September 18th. Oh, little step up. Officials with the Kamala Harris. Why can't we just say Harris? We know who it is. Whatever. Officials with the Kamala Harris Waltz campaign. Now, we only use Waltz. We don't say Tim Waltz. I love consistency, and that doesn't have it. Come on now. Officials with the Kamala Harris Tim Waltz campaign did not immediately return a message seeking comment on Vance's acceptance of the earlier debate that he said would be on CNN, or whether Waltz would participate in that one as well. So do we have one or not? I'm told to log in. Disconnected all. Still nothing. Representatives for CNN confirmed that Vance had accepted the network's debate invitation. CBS Evening News anchor Nora O'Donnell and Margaret Brennan of Face the Nation will moderate October 1st, according to the network. So there we go. We got another one scheduled. And I think this is what happens when we don't have that committee that usually did all of this. He was more organized. He was more regimented. It was, here's the date. We'll see you there. Now there's this pissing match back and forth all the time. It's not professional. It's not presidential. It's not vice presidential. It's not conducive to, this isn't the WWE. I got to see if we're actually on Jurg's radio with all the other issues happening. Yeah, we're back there. So let's see the UG. YYERZ. Okay. New password, new username. New username. Where is my username? Sorry for the dead air, everybody, but trying to get us back on it. Everything else is back. Where was I? Oh, trying to get on. Listen live. See, this is what is frustrating because these other stations. Listen live. Here we go. This is what is frustrating. Anyway, we'll have to do that late at night. Do that late at night and do some sound checks or something. Also, Trump asked judge to delay sentencing in hush money case until after November election. Shocker. Trump is asking I'm just forgetting that I'm on the air. Show details. Trump is asking, I mean, I think we know what's happening here. You know, he's going to ask to have this delayed under the presumption that he's going to win. And we know that's probably not going to happen. I don't think. We were talking about that in a call that I was on earlier today. And I just don't see it happening. I think it's going to be a bad ending for the Republican Party. Send this screenshot of the error message. Yeah, sorry for the back and forth with the tech issues, but I want to try to get this for the people in Atlanta. In a letter made public Thursday, a lawyer for the former president and current Republican nominee suggested that sentencing Trump as scheduled on September 18th, about 7 weeks before Election Day, would amount to election interference. Well, they like that one, don't they? Trump lawyer Todd Blanche wrote that a delay would also allow Trump time to weigh the next steps after the trial judge, Juan M. Merchan, is expected to rule September 16th on the defense's request to overturn the verdict and dismiss the case. Because of the U.S. Supreme Court's July presidential immunity ruling, there is no basis for continuing to rush, Blanche wrote. Blanche sent the letter to Merchan on Wednesday after the judge rejected the defense's latest request that he step aside from the case. Why? I followed it. I thought he did great. I think it was something like 60% of the objections offered up by the Trump defense were sustained. Like, yeah, I agree. No prosecution, you can't do that. No witness, you can't say that. Whatever. In the letter, Blanche reiterated the defense argument that the judge has a conflict of interest. No. If you have three associate judges on the Supreme Court that were appointed by the defendant, that's not a conflict of interest. If you have two of them that have various personal activities related to the cases at hand, and they don't recuse themselves, that's not a conflict of interest. And in another case, you have another judge who blatantly favored the defendant, who, by the way, appointed her. That's not a conflict of interest. This guy donated $30 to the Biden campaign before any of this came to light. His daughter, not even his wife, which we've already determined to be, or we'll say spouse, even though both were wives, which we've already determined to be okay. It's his daughter, who doesn't live at home, was also an intern for, I think it was either Kamala or Biden. I think it was the Biden campaign. That's the issue. Here it is. Yeah. In the letter, Blanche reiterated the defense argument that the judge has a conflict of interest because his daughter works as a Democratic political consultant, including for Kamala Harris, when she sought the 2020. Okay, that's even gone. Harris wasn't even in the top 3. Harris is now running against Trump. Okay. The girl is no longer with Harris. But you've got the other things we mentioned that are pro-Trump, and that's okay. I'm fascinated that the people think that follow him, that I'm independent. I am an independent. It sounds like I hate Trump. I don't hate anybody. I would hate the situation should he win for obvious reasons. You can't go calling yourself a patriot. You can't go saying that you love America or that you favor democracy and be anywhere close to Trump Vance. It's no. Learn to read. Learn the definitions of the things you're proclaiming to be. Google confirms an Iranian group is trying to access emails linked to both presidential campaigns. Look at that one quick too. Let's do it. God love her. She's been trying. Nicole's been trying. Yeah, I know she's got to be just as frustrated as I am. So it's not like I'm blaming. There's something wrong. Where everybody's trying to figure it out. We'll figure it out. But for that reason, today's toast of the morning sauce. That's attractive. Oh. When I go grocery shopping after the show, I'm going to get bottles and bottles of cough meds. It hurts too. There's no warning. Like these gross, nasty, snot-producing sneezes. I feel it coming. For a second. This just happens. And it hurts. And I get this like hoarse sound after. So we'll get back to this. So Nicole can get back to work. Thank you for everything you're trying to do. This actually says, don't quit your daydream, but because the blue-green in the mug is actually got green in it, and we have a green screen behind us, et cetera, et cetera. The mug looks foggy. But for you, Nicole Smith from Hype Media Global and 99.1 WDJY, for everything you've sent some shows our way at Mastiff Media that we'll put on Yerg's Radio, maybe Rainbow Radio, depending on the programming of each show, and for helping us troubleshoot in real time technical things like this. Today's toast of the morning sauce is in your direction. Thank you for everything you do. And I keep the air conditioning and the fan going in here to keep, computers and monitors at a productive temperature. And even cold, Dunkin' Donuts coffee rocks. All right. Back to some headlines. And we're going to do today's morning motivation. Haven't picked that yet either. And actually did. I had something in mind. But again, today's 10:45 a.m. out in Oklahoma City in Central Time, 11:45. We got 15 minutes left for today here in the East Coast. 4:46 just changed with our friends in London. Or 16. I don't know if they use military 24-hour clock. 16:46. Working the afternoon drive at our London station, the UG.media. Click on Listen Live. You'll see two channels, actually. We are on XL. Making my screensavers up too. There we go. Yeah, here's a good one. That's one. Let's see what else we got here. I usually already have this picked, but here we go. Put that one up. So again, my mission of each show, I have a file of screensavers, well, a file of photos, memes, or whatever you want to call it, that is oh, it's not on that. Okay, that's why. There we go. That is something relevant to me. And it's all these celebrities that have influenced me or inspired me or whatever throughout life. And so I have their quote and a picture of them in this file, a bunch of them. I got probably 50 or 100 that are in there. And they rotate through my desktops. I have 4 monitors here in the doghouse at Studio Yergs. When I have a screensaver activated, they rotate that same file and all these different pictures appear on the monitors as a screensaver. That's a waste of energy. So I just let my machines go right to sleep. But when I clear off my desktops, oh, now I'm burping up all kinds of coffee. Sorry. These different files appear. And today's, what I've decided to do is pick one every day and talk about it. And clearly, with our technical issues going on with WDJY, this is perfect for, and a lot of things. The past year, see, probably 16 of the past 16 months has been rough. Oh, it says we lost the stream feed. So it's been rough. And Damon John, the founder of FUBU, clothing brand, FUBU stands for Us, By Us, meaning the black community. A lot of rappers wore that clothing back in the day. Now he's also one of the sharks on Shark Tank. Really smart investor. He actually started making some of the clothing back in the day and, is where he is today. And his quote is, "You're not stuck where you are unless you decide to be." We're not stuck being not connected unless Nicole and I both sit on our ass and not do what we got to do to make things work again, which I'm very confident we will. She's been on the phone with her technical people. So we'll get this fixed. We'll figure it out. Nothing ever happens easy, right, quick. But for the past, like I said, for roughly, I'd say 16 months. Yeah, 16 months. From May of last year, 2023, when I lost Schmobes. And kind of realized that a lot of things from my career in the Secret Service, being gay in that conservative environment, that one I felt coming, but I knew I wasn't going to get to the mute button. Being gay in that environment, there's some report that I guess was written or report on interviews of two of the supervisors from the Secret Service that were in Butler on that day back in July. Butler, Pennsylvania, the Trump incident, assassination attempt. And apparently both mentioned a toxic work environment. Or somehow, somewhere, I got to look into this, but a toxic work environment was mentioned. And a guy that I respect and former colleague, also retired, now still in the security industry, and is much more than I am, a media representative, the talking head when news channels need a law enforcement expert, got on and said, yeah, it's not really a toxic work environment. It's just, what you might call hazing. And it's just, we eat our own camaraderie type of thing. No, it's a toxic work environment. I was there. You might not have had that on the details you were on, given that you did most of your time on the president's detail. My time was on a former detail, just like Trump, who at that time was also campaigning just like Trump, and had supplemented the shift with people from the field who were treated better than the regular agents. And I experienced that exact lifestyle. I remember in South Bend, and remember, I went to Penn State. So being in South Bend, kind of arch enemy territory, I and the other, I can't give a number, but the other shift agents were in the lobby. And we said, let's throw our bags up in the room. We'll come back down here and we'll go see the stadium. That, of course, Notre Dame, and the stadium being the football stadium, something I would have loved to have seen as a Penn State fan and alumni. I don't know how fast this happened, but I literally took my bags up to the room, dropped them, and I just knew I couldn't wait. I dropped them. One of the bags actually fell. I let it there. I turned around and went right back down to the lobby. Can I tell you, they were gone already? Like, how did that happen so fast? Excuse me. How did that happen so fast? And I just accepted it. They're not letting me fit in. And my colleagues were going through the same thing. They weren't part of the team. And I'll tell you what happens. These weekend warriors from the field, I was one of them. They get on a shift and they think they're on the president's detail. And they think they're the coolest thing. And that's how they act. And they talk down to other people, our own people. Because they think they're the man. And of course, if their man or woman wins, they ride those coattails to the presidential detail. Which, by the way, might happen for some of the bosses, but not the shift agents. You got your detail time. It's coming. And so it creates a toxic work environment. I know that's what's... Looks like I'm going bald, but there's really kind of a part in the middle of my hair. Anyway, it creates a toxic work environment. And I went to the supervisor, who is one of these weekend warriors, called a shift leader. And I said, what the hell? Why did they do that? I told them I wanted to go with them. I'm a Penn State fan. I would have loved to have seen Notre Dame's football stadium. Well, you got to understand, they just work with each other. No, we're in a detail where we're supposed to be working together. And they're temps. This is my detail time. This is supposed to be the highlight of my career in the Secret Service. And he didn't know what to say. I knew he wasn't going to do anything. So I talked to some of the other agents who were, permanents like me on the detail, and who, as I said, were experiencing the same thing. And I knew that there were other agents from our permanent detail who were, we'll say, better connected to our permanent management, the upper bosses. And we just noticed a change. Not that there was any friendlier behavior towards us, but more of, yeah, we'll be allowed to tag along. Sadly, she was not the nominee, and not that I'm opposed to Barack Obama, but when they left, we ordered pizza and Chinese. We literally had a party that we had our detail back. And then, I was the agent on the door of then Senator Clinton's Senate office on Capitol Hill, when a girlfriend of hers from law school, who was now a judge, sworn her in as Obama's Secretary of State. I was there for his swearing in on the steps of the Capitol. I was probably 40 yards away. And it was back to us having something to remember. Point of that being, we're running out of time, I was not stuck being forgotten about because I chose not to be. I went to a proper channel, and then I went to my team, and we decided not to be stuck. Whatever you're going through, like I said, I've been in therapy now for 16 months. That's been a huge help. I started pulling weeds in my front yard again. That's halfway to looking decent. I'm financially on top of a lot of things. I'm actually looking forward to paying my mortgage. I'm looking forward to developing everything here at Mastiff Media. And I want to take you with me. That's it, gang. Sorry for the rough show today. We'll get things worked out for tomorrow. Thanks, Damon John, for being the inspiration that you are. Thanks to Nicole Smith for being the inspiration she's been, and that toast of the morning sauce in her direction. We'll get the show notes updated. I know I owe you about a week worth of show notes. You'll find them on yergs.com. Let me go through the other things I should be remembering to say. If you need to reach out to us, you can do that right here. Newz, NEWZ, at yergs.com. Go to yergs.com. You can find all of our social media. Remember, we need your help with Talk TV 24. Ross Yergs Yerger. That's my page, not my actual profile. And Rainbow Radio. You can get us on LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, Truth Social, Rumble. Chatter and Clubhouse are 2 social audio platforms. I'm trying to get the desktop version for Clubhouse, or excuse me, for Chatter, which would allow me to, just like Twitter Spaces, I can open up that desktop version, connect the audio to my board, and one more way, you can actually get video as well. We'll see, how that works. I might have to stick with just the audio because the video goes through Restream, which had a glitch today. Hope everybody's okay and still seeing and hearing. That's it, gang. You've been up the middle. Appreciate you all, and look forward to talking to you again tomorrow. That's it. See you again. Thanks, everybody.